This is the responsibility shift, and this is super important. This will lessen your complaints by a lot. It'll lessen the workload on your shoulders. It'll lessen the sense of responsibility that you have for them reaching their goal. Okay. And this is important, but you also empower your client. You make them the hero and you the guide. You make them the hero and you the guide. They actually understand the process. They understand how they got there. And guess what? You gave them a journey. You're giving them a journey to get to their goal. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. So the next segment here that I want to talk about is the responsibility shift. Get clients to own their own progress. Again, responsibility shift. And I know a lot of you guys are like, what? They come to me and they want me to do everything, Allie. It's because that's how you positioned yourself in the beginning, that you're going to be the hero and you're going to do everything. I see your social media posts, guys. This person went up 100 points. What are you telling someone when you say this person went up 100 points? You're saying out there, they came to me, and because they came to me, they got 100 points. That's not the truth of the matter. They got 100 points because they did the things that you help guide them to do, right? And that should be your message. So if you want to post that they got 100 points, your message should be something like this. XYZ came to me to buy a home. And through coming to me to buy a home, we were able to tailor a plan for them. They took the actions. They did the things. I was the guide. And look at what they're doing. They're a hero. Does that make sense? So you want to shift the responsibility to them, not to yourself. Matter of fact, guys, let's just think about it this way. You can't do it. I don't care how good you are. You're not getting someone 100 points just because you did whatever. If they need to get a credit card, they got to get the credit card. You might have told them what credit card to get, right? If they need to pay down their credit card bill, I don't think you're giving them the money. They have to figure out how to get the money to pay down the credit card. You're the guide. You're always just the guide, but you're so very important because people need a guide. A great example, I like to use the fitness industry example because I think it resonates with a lot of people and it kind of clicks. But if I'm a personal trainer, which I am, if I'm a personal trainer and you come to me, there is never a sense that you're going to come to me as your personal trainer and think that I'm going to do your workouts and eat your food for you. You never think that, right? You never think that because I can't. I simply can't, right? So think of it in that direction. They came to me. They're going to pay me to do personal training with them for weight loss, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to guide them. I'm going to say, hey, I've done it before. I've helped hundreds of people get from here to here, and I can put a plan together for you. And here's the plan. Here's when you're going to wake up. Here's the workouts you're going to do. Here's the food that you're going to eat. It is a plan, just like what Level Up Score does for your clients today. It's a plan. And if we follow the plan, because I know it works, right? Because if I'm a personal trainer and I say, hey, this is what we're going to eat, it's because I know it works. I've done it before. I've had other clients do it before. So if we know our plan in the credit space works, then all we have to do is be the guide, give them the plan, help be the accountability. That's what you're paying for as a personal trainer. Be the accountability, show them how to do the things on the action plan, answer their questions about the action plan. That's our job. We're the guide. And I hope that the personal training thing helps to make sense of that. So you can take that big burden off your shoulders. The client will no longer ask you, hey, Allie, I've been working with you for 30 days and my credit score went down 100 points. Why? Why? You won't get that question anymore. If you change the responsibility shift to the consumer, you will never get that question again. Why? Because for them to ask you why means they have to face responsibility that they didn't do their part because you made certain that the messages you gave was that they're going to do the work. Just like a personal trainer. You come to me for personal training and you don't lose 100 pounds and that's what you wanted to do. You can come to me and say why, and then I'm going to reflect back to you. What part of my plan did you not do? What part of my plan did you not do? And then if you think, I've had this, people are like, well, wait a minute. They're going to ask me, what are they paying for? If I'm not doing everything for them, what are they paying for? Have you ever thought about a personal trainer? Have you ever went to a personal trainer? You're paying them, I think I charge $250 an hour. And you come to me and you're paying me $250 an hour. And then you're like, well, what am I paying for? I don't get that question as a personal trainer. I don't get, why am I paying you $250 an hour? I don't get that question. Why do I not get that question? Because I'm a personal trainer and you know you're responsible. I'm your guide. I'm going to help keep you accountable. I'm going to help give you the plan. I'm going to help answer questions. If you don't know how to do the exercises, I'm going to help you with that. I might stand beside you for an hour a couple of times a week to assist you, but I'm not going to be there every day and I'm not going to be there on the weekend. And the same with you guys as a credit coach, right? You're not going to be there on the weekend when they just spent $300 going out to eat, buying drinks for everybody. You're not going to be there. You're the guide. You're helping them make the right decisions. You're helping keep them accountable and responsible for their own progress. This is the responsibility shift, and it should be in all your messages, right? So, again, like I said, on going back and looking at your messages for the clarity shift, you should also be going back to your messages and looking at the responsibility shift. Who are you putting the responsibility of results on? Is it yourself? Because you're going to fail a lot of people. Is it them? I really encourage you to think about that. So, a couple things I want to talk about here. You can't scale if your clients depend on you for every result. When they take ownership, they become empowered. Isn't that what we want from people? We want them to be empowered, right? And that empowerment fuels referrals to you, retention from them, and results for them. When people get results, what happens? They tell everybody. They tell everybody. And for some reason, they don't just take 100% credit for themselves. They want their family, their friends, their social media or whatever to know, say, hey, I sat down with Allie and she helped me strategize the best way to get my message to my audience. Or I sat down with Allie and she helped me figure out a way to be able to buy this home, figure out a way to actually save more money than I'm paying her for the service so that she's free, right? I hope you guys are doing that, by the way. So think about that. They'll talk about you. They won't take 100% credit, but you are not the hero. You are the guide. So don't take 100% credit yourself because that puts the responsibility on you and not on them. So shift that onto them. When I stopped trying to do everything for my clients, I noticed something. The clients took ownership and they got better results. And most importantly, for us, because we don't want to have to worry about buying leads and figuring out the right marketing and the right funnels, they referred. They referred everybody they know. They did the Google review, which brought in all the leads, right? So think about that. When clients who stayed stuck were the ones I carried the clients who stayed stuck were the ones I carried the most. They were dependent, frustrated, and unmotivated. And I want to repeat that to you. So, I decided I was going to reduce my prices to be really, really low to get more leads to help more people. And those people actually stayed stuck because they were the ones that I carried, right? So they wanted to see maybe a deletion that was going to give them 100 points, right? Or something of that nature. They didn't want to do anything. Matter of fact, I remember I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people, and I remember them saying stuff like, well, if I have to do that, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so do you want to buy a house? Yeah, I want to buy a house, but if you make me pay that, then I would rather not buy a house. Really? So you get to know who your person is and whether or not they're actually going to go through the program really fast. And so again, shifting that responsibility to them, those who are stuck are the ones that you're going to carry the most. They're going to be the most frustrated, the ones that complain the most, the ones that are unmotivated, and the ones who are going to give you the 1-star review. Done that, been there, done that. I got 1-star reviews from holding someone's hand, from giving more of myself without having them take responsibility. The truth is, we rob people of transformation when we do it all for them. Growth only happens when they take action. Our job is to give them the steps and the guidance of how to get to the goal because we know, right? Level up score action plans, we know what they need to do to get to their goal. So our job is actually pretty easy. They don't know. They don't know. How many people have you talked to that went ahead and tried to do it themselves because they saw social media posts on TikTok or whatever? And they come to you and like, oh man, I could have saved you thousands upon thousands of dollars in time and headache and all this had you just come to me first. I wish more people knew about me before you took that action. How many times have you felt that way about someone who went and did it themselves and did it wrong? Right? I hope you have felt that way. I know I certainly have. And so our job is to give them the right guide, the right things to do so they can get the results with the least friction, the least pain, the least obstacles. That's our job. And I don't care what business you're in. That's your job. That's what you should do because you're hopefully coming from a place where number one, you know that where they're at and where they want to go, that you can get them there. And most likely in a lot of situations, not all, but a lot of situations, it's because you've been here and you wanted to get here and you found a way to get there and you stumbled and you had, all these valleys and hills and, thickle bushes and thorn bushes or whatever you want to call them. And you create a system where you can take those pieces out, take the thorn bush out, take the hill out, and make it easier because you've been there, you've done that, right? That's what they're paying for. They're paying for the simple process, the journey, the transformation they'll get with the least amount of friction and the shortest time, right? Okay. Responsibility should be built into every touch point. This should be in your welcome call, your first action plan, every update and review, right? So for instance, if I'm using Level Up Score as my action plan and I run an action plan next month and it says that the person charged $500 on their credit card, which is the opposite direction that I need them to go. It's like the opposite of the action plan. The action plan says, oops, right? Then I can do a quick Loom video as my updated review and say, hey, XYZ, your goal is to buy a house. What an impressive goal. And I know you want to do this for your child. And I know how important this is for you. When you charge that $500, it set us back. How can we focus on that not happening again? What happened that caused that to happen so that we can try to fix that so that we don't have this happen again and we can start getting better and faster results to get you to your goal, right? So this is where I'm again shifting the responsibility to them. So if they lost 50 points and it's because they maxed out their credit card, we can express that to them and shift that responsibility to them. And we can help them, right? Because why did you max out your credit card? There may be a really good explanation for it. Maybe there was a medical debt, right? Or something happened. And then we can look at strategies and we can talk about strategies on how we can help fix that problem, right? Hopefully that's part of your job that you like to do is help people through all the obstacles they're going to face throughout the journey. They're probably going to have obstacles you didn't have too. So you need to know your audience. That's that whole feedback refined in your process, making sure that when a problem happens to a client that you haven't experienced, that you're able to study that and have that as part of the process in case someone else has that same obstacle, and you'll have a system for that. You'll have a strategy for that. You'll have answers for that, right? Okay. So I have some implementation, some homework. Set expectations early. Use a welcome orientation video or onboarding form that outlines shared responsibility. Like things like saying, here's what we'll do for you, and here's what you'll do for yourself. Saying, hey, this is your part. I'm going to give you an action plan. This is something a lot of people love when I say this, and then they like to hear me say this. But clients will come to you and say, well, how long is this going to take? Great answer. Great question. I got a great answer for you. I'm going to create a action plan. I'm going to give you everything you need to do right up front. When you get that action plan, I want you to review it, and I want you to be honest with yourself and come back to me and let me know how fast you can get that done. That's my answer. What did I do there? I shifted the responsibility to them. My responsibility is coming up with a tailored action plan for them. My responsibility is to help keep them accountable for the action plan. My responsibility is to help answer questions. My responsibility is make sure that the resources that I have in the action plan, which is already built in from Level Up Score, are going to work for them. That's my responsibility. Their responsibility is do the actions. Does that make sense? So I shift it always on them. So that question is easy for me to answer. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll tell you what I do know. I'm going to create an action plan. I'm going to give you everything you need to get to your goal. When you get that, I want you to review it and I want you to be honest and let me know how long it's going to take you to complete every action. Pretty nice. It takes that whole weight off your shoulder. You don't have to answer that question. Because God forbid you answer the question, you say, well, probably like 3-6 months. Well, the problem with that is that you're not in control. So how can you say 3 or 6 months? You can say it by maybe average person comes through my program. We've noticed that they get done in 3 or 6 months. They get done in 3 to 6 months. Not I got them done in 3 to 6 months because I can't do it. So I take the pressure off of me. Okay. Document everything. If you do use Level Up Score, it will show when the plans were open, what's completed, where the client is lagging, This adds transparency and accountability. So really cool is you can see what's going on. You can see, are they opening the plan? Are they looking at it? Because we track that. We track to see if they open it. But then other than that, you can look at it and it says, oh, so-and-so increased their credit card utilization, or they got a new collection, or who knows, right? There's a million things that they could do. And they'll see it. So it keeps them accountable because we don't even have to say it. They're going to see it. Red, bad. Green, good. Very simple, right? And so they'll be able to see it. So they're not going to ask you that question, what happened? Because it's clear on the plan. And then that's going to make them own up to the responsibility, which a lot of people hate to do. So they'd rather keep that quiet and just try to fix it, right? But document everything. That's super important. Reframe your role. I'm not your fixer. I'm your guide. I'm not a credit repair professional. I'm not a budget master. I'm your guide to your outcome, whatever that is. Empower through wins. When clients complete steps, congratulate them publicly, recognize and reinforce their responsibility, right? So-and-so just improved their credit score 50 points because they took action on the action plan. That's a powerful statement on your social media. That's a powerful statement to them. Or reaching out to them and saying, hey, and I hope you guys have, systems in place for success where you have staff or yourself calling clients up and saying, hey, just a quick call right now. I just noticed that you're really taking the actions on your action plan. You had 10 actions to complete and now you only have 5. And I just want to congratulate you. You're in the top 1% of people. Thank you. How powerful is that? Right? And that helps that retention and keeps them motivated. All right. So here's my mind shift quote for you. If you're carrying your clients, you can't climb your business. Let me say it again. If you're carrying your clients, you can't climb your business. Okay. So again, once you've created clarity and you've built responsibility into your process,